Welcome to Gunsmoke Theater. I'm Dennis Daly. Very few radio or television programs had such an impact on their medium that they changed everything. One of those shows was Gunsmoke. Yes, it ran 20 years on television, but the TV show was a child of the radio show, which itself ran nearly a decade. Sit back now for the next hour as we go back into the archives and play some of those great episodes of the show that changed everything, Gunsmoke. It's April 1956, and Gunsmoke has been on the air since early 1952. Everybody comes to work and reads the script and then cranks out the show as if it's second nature. One of the sound effects people, the last one to survive, Ray Kemper, told me some time ago that it was almost like clockwork, mainly because everybody at Gunsmoke liked everybody else at Gunsmoke, and the atmosphere at Columbia Square in Los Angeles must have been amazing. Now from April 1956, another episode of Gunsmoke.
Gunsmoke, brought to you by Chesterfield. Chesterfield packs more pleasure because it's more perfectly packed, thanks to Accuray. They satisfy the most.
Around Dodge City and in the territory on West, there's just one way to handle the killers and the spoilers, and that's with a U.S. Marshal and the smell of gun smoke. Gunsmoke, starring William Conrad, the transcribed story of the violence that moved west with young America, and the story of a man who moved with it.
I'm that man, Matt Dillon, United States Marshal. The first man they look for and the last they want to meet. It's a chancy job, and it makes a man watchful and a little lonely. Hey, Kitty. What's your hurry?
I'm late for work, Matt. I should have been at the Long Branch an hour ago.
I was just over there. The place is full of nothing but loafers. Why, there isn't a dollar in the crowd.
I never saw a loafer yet who didn't have at least a few pennies hid out somewhere.
Maybe you're right, Kitty.
Of course, sometimes you have to pull his boots off to find it. That's all in a day's work.
What you doing?
Who's that with Chester?
Yeah, I don't know him.
Look at the spread of that man's feet, Matt. It looks like a buffalo.
They are pretty big, all right.
I'll see you later, Matt.
Okay, good luck, Kitty.
Mr. Dillon, this here is Mr. and Miss Jollop.
How do you do?
The Jollops has bought themselves the old Mather place down at the head of Salt Fork.
Oh, well, that's about 60 miles south of here, isn't it, Mr. Jollop?
Well, that's what they tell me, Marshal. Of course, we ain't never been there.
We're on our way now.
Well, you'll have a good neighbor down there, Miss Jollop. Bob Oren lives only about 10 or 15 miles from you.
Well, that's what they want to see you about, Mr. Dillon.
What?
We met this here Bob Oren right here in town today, Marshal.
Oh, did you?
Now, see, we paid good money for that place. But, well, my wife and me, we about give up going down there. All we've been hearing about that country. And we met this Oren fella down at the Santa Fe Depot today. Now, he said 'twas all lies.
And they want you to tell them the truth, Mr. Dillon.
Yes.
What? The truth about what?
About them Indians, Marshal. Them Comanches.
Now, everybody but Bob Orrin. Everybody says that country down there is just full of 'em.
And he lives alone. He's got no woman with him. But me, I didn't come west to get captured by no Indians. I've read about that. It's bad what they do to women.
I don't intend to expose my wife to nothing like that, Marshal.
And we want you to tell us the truth, Marshal. You're the law here, and we'll believe you.
Well, that was Comanche country, yeah, but it isn't anymore. I doubt if a single Indian's been seen down there for 2 or 3 years. They're all on the reservation now.
Is that the truth, Marshal? You swear that's the truth?
Well, you can go out to Fort Dodge and ask the Army. They'll tell you.
No, we'll believe you.
Well, you can believe Bob Orrin. He's lived there quite a while.
All right, then. Laura?
Let's get going, Will. I'll brave it.
All right.
I've got a ride down your way in a few weeks. If you don't mind, I'll come by and say hello.
Oh, you'll be welcome, Marshal.
Pleased to see you,
Goodbye.
Marshal.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Ain't you taking a little too much responsibility for that, Mr. Dillon?
What do you mean, Chester?
Well, how can you say every Comanche in the country's on that reservation? I think they're taking a big chance. Maybe Bob Orrin ain't seen none, but that don't mean nothing, not when it comes to Indians.
They're chancing the weather, too, Chester. And they know it.
Yeah, maybe so. But I'm glad it wasn't me told him. I thought the old Mather place was right in them cottonwoods, Mr. Dillon.
Yeah, it was.
Well, then the Jallops must have moved it. I sure don't see no house.
Look closer.
Yeah, there's something there.
Yeah.
Why, it's all tore down. It's just a heap. Mr. Dillon, it's been burned. They've had a fire out here.
Looks that way.
I don't see nobody around.
No. Let's have a look.
My, there sure ain't much left, is there?
Well, there's this.
It's an arrow.
Uh-huh. Comanche. Oh, and there's another one, half burned.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, look at there, Mr. Dillon. Somebody's made a grave. It's fresh dug, too.
But it's only one grave. And it's not very deep either. Just a few inches.
You gonna dig it up?
I gotta find out who it is, Chester.
Oh. You mean if it's Mr. Jalop, then they took her alive?
That's right.
Yeah, but Comanches wouldn't bury nobody, Mr. Dillon.
No, they wouldn't.
It's her. She's been scalped. Oh, ain't that awful?
Yeah, we'll have to bury her proper, Chester. Then we'll ride over to Bob Orrin's. Maybe they got him, too.
Yeah, well, where's Mr. Jalop? You think they took him prisoner?
I don't know, Chester, but look sharp now. We don't want him to get us.
You've heard Bobby Haggart whistling it on radio and television. Right now, a country-style version. Okay, partners?
Packs more pleasure, packs more pleasure. Chesterfield packs more pleasure because Chesterfield's more perfectly packed.
It stands to reason a cigarette made better and packed better, smokes better, tastes better. And Chesterfield is more perfectly packed by Accuray. This electronic miracle removes human error in cigarette manufacture. So Accuray Chesterfield is firm and pleasing to the lips, mild yet deeply satisfying. Yes, Chesterfield gives you something no other cigarette can give you.
Chesterfield packs more pleasure because Chesterfield's more perfectly packed.
To the touch, to the taste, Chesterfield packs more pleasure because it's more perfectly packed by Chesterfield. Mild, yet they satisfy the most.
Let's tie him to the rail here, Chester.
All right, sir. Well, Bob Warren's pretty lucky. Doesn't look like them Indians been anywhere near here.
From the tracks of the Jollops, it was a small party.
Yeah, well, I know, but that wouldn't keep them from coming over here.
Only a big party will hit every ranch, Chester. Small one attacks and then rides on for miles before trying it again. Hey, wait a minute.
What?
Well, there's footprints.
Well, there's lots of footprints all over.
Yeah. Come on.
I guess Arn ain't to home.
He's gotta be. Didn't you notice that saddled horse in his corral?
You gonna walk right in?
Orrin! Hey, Orrin! It's Marshal Dillon. Orrin!
I told you there ain't nobody here, Mr. Dillon.
I'll look in the kitchen, Chester. He's here, Chester.
Why, it's Orrin. He's been scalped, too.
A bullet hole in his chest.
Well, them Comanches was here after all.
I don't know.
You don't know? Well, they scalped him, didn't they?
Did you ever hear of Indians killing a man and not setting fire to his place?
No, I guess I never did.
There are 3 horses in that corral. Even drunk, an Indian wouldn't leave a horse behind.
Yeah, but he's been scalped.
Anybody
Mr.
with
Dillon.
a sharp knife can scalp a man, Chester. You don't have to be an Indian to do that.
What do you mean?
Outside those tracks I stopped to look at. They're made by a man wearing boots. About the biggest boots I ever saw.
You thinking of Will Jalop?
Those tracks aren't more than 2 days old, and Bob Orrin hasn't been dead any longer than that.
Yeah, but Jalop wouldn't come scalp a man.
The Comanches killed his wife, Chester. We don't know what happened to him, but my guess is he's alive. The Indians don't take male prisoners his age.
But that don't say he done this to Bob Orrin.
Chester, there are only 2 people who told Jalop and his wife they'd be safe out here. Orrin was one of them. Jalop's wife gets killed, he escapes somehow and comes here to take his revenge. He did to Orrin what the Comanches did to her.
That's awful hard to believe, Mr. Dillon.
Well, he wouldn't be the first man driven crazy with grief.
Well, maybe.
And if it's true, I'm the next on his list. When we get back to Dodge, I got an idea Jalop will be there waiting for me.
Evening, Matt.
Hello, Kitty.
Sit down.
Oh, any coffee left in that pot?
Sure. And here's an extra cup.
Ah, thanks.
You look tired.
Well, we rode all night, Kitty. I haven't been to bed yet.
No, Chester came into the Long Branch. No luck, huh?
Not so far.
You could be wrong about him, Matt. Jalop might be in Colorado by now.
Yeah, maybe.
He might have killed Bob Orrin, sure, but it's kind of hard to believe he'd come to Dodge looking to scalp a gun-bearing U.S. Marshal.
Well, I'm beginning to think maybe you're right, Kitty. Maybe I made a mistake about the whole thing.
But somebody killed Orrin.
Yeah, they sure did. Guess I better go out there and have another look around.
With all those Comanches on the warpath?
I know there are only 3 or 4 of them, Kitty. Some young braves who jumped reservation last week.
How do you know that?
I reported the whole business to Major Honeyman at Fort Dodge. He told me about it.
Well, even so, isn't he doing anything about 'em?
Yeah, he put a company of troopers in the field.
Sure. All they'll do is kick up a lot of dust.
Probably. Well, Kitty, I think I'll turn in for a couple of hours. I need some sleep.
That's the best idea you had yet.
When Chester comes in, will you tell him I've gone to my room, huh?
Yeah, I'll tell him that.
Mr. Dillon?
Oh, did you see Kitty, Chester?
Yes, sir, I did. I come in just after you left. I've been trying to catch you before you got to your room here.
Oh, what is it? Did you find him?
No, sir.
No.
What I wanted to know is, could I get some sleep, too?
Well, of course, Chester. I thought you understood that.
Well, then I'll go back to the office and lay down there.
All right, I'll come by later tonight when I wake up, huh?
All right, sir. I'll see you then.
Yeah.
Don't move, Marshal. Just leave that gun there on the table. This here's a mighty short-barreled shotgun, Marshal. I stole it off of Bob Orrin, and it's loaded with buckshot. I've been waiting for you. I've been waiting hours. Busted in the back window, if that's what you're wondering.
No, that's not what I'm wondering, Jalop.
What?
I'm wondering how you got away from those Comanches.
Seen them coming. Climbed up one of them big cottonwood trees. They looked. They never found me.
You mean you left your wife to fight them?
I left her all right. You betcha I left her.
Coward.
Terrible, them Indians. It was terrible. But I fixed Bob Orrin for it. He told me it was safe out there. Now I'm going to fix you. Going to take you right down by the river, Marshal. Going to fix you there. You just make one move on the way and I'll leave you in two big pieces. Now you walk.
Say, where are you listening to Gunsmoke? In your car? Getting ready for dinner? Oh, I see. Just relaxing in your favorite easy chair. Well, I'd say you're in a good spot right now to really enjoy a Chesterfield. You see, Chesterfield packs more pleasure because it's more perfectly packed. It stands to reason. A cigarette made better and packed better smokes better, tastes better. And Chesterfield is more perfectly packed by Accuray. This electronic miracle removes human error in cigarette manufacture. So Accuray Chesterfield is firm and pleasing to the lips, mild, yet deeply satisfying. Yes, Chesterfield gives you something no other cigarette can give you.
Chesterfield packs more pleasure because Chesterfield's more perfectly packed.
To the touch, to the taste, Chesterfield packs more pleasure because it's more perfectly packed. Buy Chesterfield. Mild, yet they satisfy the most.
Fair enough, Marshal. 'Tis pretty down here, isn't it? All them nice cottonwood trees. My wife liked them cottonwood trees out to our place, Marshal. She liked them a whole lot.
Jalop killing me isn't going to get your wife back.
And she was scared, Marshal. She was more scared than me, even, and I'll never get over it. Watching them painted devils ride up, I ever see another Indian, I'll kill myself. I'm still shaking.
You weren't shaking so much you couldn't run off and leave your wife.
You betcha I left her. I couldn't stand the sight of them savages. Well, that don't matter now. See here, Marshal, got a knife in my belt. Good long knife, and you know just what I'm going to do after I shoot you. Don't you?
Be quiet.
Don't you tell me to be
Quiet, I said. Listen.
What?
There's something in that clump of elder on the riverbank over there.
I don't see nothing.
They're gone. You can't see them now, but they're out there. Wait a minute. They'll move any minute now.
Who will, Marshal? What do you say?
Indians. There were 3 of them. They were standing right against the river.
Oh, no. No, not Indians.
Watch, right there. You see one of them standing up. You see him?
Where? Show me. Where is he?
Shoot him, Jalop. Shoot him.
Yes, I will. I can't see him. No.
Give me the gun, Jalop.
Hit me, Marshal. You was fooling.
Let go of it.
No, My chest. Hit me in the chest.
I couldn't get your finger off the trigger.
Gotta die. Bleeding all over.
I'm sorry, Jalop.
Oh, I shot myself. I shot everybody, Marshal. I'm the 3rd one.
The 3rd?
Oh, I ain't a coward like you think. I'm scared of Indians, but I didn't run off to leave my wife to them. Not alive, I didn't.
You mean you shot her before they got there? You killed her?
It was terrible, Marshal. She begged me to. Begged me before they could get her. Ain't been right since. Not till now. Now I know I done wrong. Killing Bob Orr, trying to kill you, I done wrong. But I'm all right now, Marshal. I'm all right now.
Jalop. Yeah, I think maybe you are now.
In a moment, our star, William Conrad.
Chesterfield packs more pleasure because Chesterfield's more perfectly packed.
A cigarette made better and packed better, smokes better, tastes better. And Chesterfield is more perfectly packed by Accuray. This electronic miracle removes human error in cigarette manufacture. So Accuray Chesterfield is firm and pleasing to the lips. Chesterfield, mild, yet they satisfy the most.
You know, a horse and buggy frontier doctor was about the most useful and beloved citizen in any community. But next week, Dodge learns that a man has been killed and that it was Doc Adams who killed him. And that was the West. Good night.
Gunsmoke, produced and directed by Norman MacDonald, stars William Conrad as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal. Our story was specially written for Gunsmoke by John Meston, with music composed and conducted by Rex Corey. America's medical schools urgently need your help. Join the National Fund for Medical Education today. Write Medical Education, Box 313, New York City.
Live modern. Smoke L&M.
Live modern. Change to L&M.
Only with L&M can you enjoy the full, exciting flavor of today's finest tobaccos through the modern miracle of the pure white Miracle Tip. So light up, free up, let your taste come alive. Live modern. Smoke L&M.
Live modern. Change to L&M.
Join us again next week for another specially transcribed story on Gunsmoke.
I have mentioned many times how the guys who did the sound effects for Gunsmoke did such an amazing job you didn't really know they were using sound effects. It all sounded so very, very natural. But for those of you who haven't thought about it, how do you create a sense of depth on a monaural radio program? Let's go back into the episode we just played from April 1956 and listen as Chester moves toward us. Parley Bear, of course, was standing slightly off mic, and he would turn to the mic, creating a sense of movement, because he knew how to do it. And the sound effects increased in level as he walked up toward Matt. Let's listen to that again.
Oh, did you see Kitty, Chester?
Yes, sir, I did. I come in just after you left. I've been trying to catch you before you got to your room here.
Oh, what is it? Did you find him?
No, sir.
No.
What I want to know is, could I get some sleep, too?
The impish, wonderful voice of Parley Bear, one of the great radio actors of all time. Now our second show from April 1956.
Gunsmoke. Brought to you by L&M, the modern cigarette that lets you get full, exciting flavor through the modern miracle of the pure white Miracle Tip. Live modern. Smoke L&M. Around Dodge City and in the territory on West, there's just one way to handle the killers and the spoilers, and that's with a U.S. Marshal and the smell of Gunsmoke. Gunsmoke, starring William Conrad. The transcribed story of the violence that moved west with young America. And the story of a man who moved with it.
I'm that man. Matt Dillon, United States Marshal. The first man they look for and the last they want to meet. It's a chancy job, and it makes a man watchful and a little lonely.
The Cape Cod girls, they have no combs. They comb their hair with codfish bones. Little mare, what's the matter with you? You've seen a man on a horse before. You calm down, girl. They're only waiting to say hello to us.
Hold up there, Doc.
Hello, stranger.
You are Doc Adams, ain't you?
I am.
You're a long way from Dodge.
And I'm headed for Cam Seaton's place. That's about 15 miles on south. Oh, you know him?
Sure. I know him.
A horse kicked him in the chest. Now, here he's pretty badly hurt. Some cowboy rode by, found him, and got him into bed, and then came to Dodge after me.
I just came from Cam Seaton's, Doc.
Oh, well, then how is he?
There's nothing wrong with him.
What's that?
No, that cowboy was funning you. Cam never got kicked by no horse.
I don't believe it. Nobody'd play a joke like that.
Well, it's true. You better turn around and go back to Dodge. Somebody might be needing you there. I'm telling you, Doc.
I don't know you, mister. Who are you?
Just do what I say. Now get that buggy turned around.
I'm driving on to Cam Seaton's.
You won't drive nowhere if I shoot your horse, Doc.
Put that gun away.
You gonna do what I say?
Of course I'm not.
Then you're gonna be afoot, Doc.
You shoot that horse, I'll shoot you.
Oh, shotgun, eh? Now, what are you doing with a shotgun, Doc?
I like to eat prairie chicken, mister. But I've seen what 2 barrels of birdshot can do to a man.
You? Doctor, you're bluffing.
There's a man with a caved-in chest waiting for me 15 miles from here. You kill my horse, he might be dead before I can get there. Oh, yes, mister. I'll shoot if I have to.
You won't turn around and go back to Dodge?
Nobody keeps me from being where I'm needed.
The horse goes, Doc. And if you try anything, you go next.
Don't you do it.
Watch me.
I told you not to. I told you.
You still think Doc came here, Mr. Dillon?
Well, there are his footprints, Chester, headed straight for the house.
Well, I just can't believe no part of it. His horse back there dead, and his buggy and that body laying in it all bloody.
Look on the porch there. He just came out of the house.
Yeah, it's Doc, all right.
Hello, Matt. Chester?
Hello, Doc.
The Allen boy reported finding your horse and buggy back there, Doc. I'm glad to see you're all right.
I'm all right, Matt.
How's Cam Seaton?
He was dead when I got here.
Oh?
I guess you saw the man I left in my buggy.
Yeah.
He was a stranger to me, Matt.
You kill him, Doc?
He killed my horse, and I shot him before he even turned his gun on me. His horse ran off.
I see.
So I guess it isn't exactly self-defense, is it?
Well, that's not for me to decide, Doc.
Am I under arrest?
The day I have to arrest you is the day I quit.
There'll be talk, Matt. People will say I ought to be waiting trial in jail, and they'll be blaming you for it. You sure you know what you're doing?
Too bad that man's horse ran off, Doc. You might have got here in time if you hadn't had to walk.
Why don't you live modern? Live modern. Live modern. Change to L&M.
with L&M can you enjoy the full, exciting flavor of today's finest tobaccos through the modern miracle of the L&M Miracle Tip. Through the pure white Miracle Tip, L&M tastes richer, smokes cleaner, draws easier. No other cigarette, plain or filter, gives you all the flavor you want. The rich, exciting flavor you get only from L&M. So light up, free up, let your taste come alive. Live modern. Smoke L&M.
Make today your big red letter day and start to live the modern way. Live, live, live modern. Get L&M today.
You ain't so bad worried, are you, Doc?
Worried? About what, Chester?
Well, the way everybody's sort of been eyeing you ever since we got back.
Oh, now, not everybody, Chester.
Well, now you take that fella across the street, standing there by the tonsorial.
Yeah.
Seems like he's always watching you from somewheres.
I don't think I even know that man, Chester.
He ain't been in town but a couple days.
Well, who is he?
Well, I don't know.
Well, he's got nothing to do with me. You're forever dreaming up something, Chester. I always said there's too much schoolgirl in you.
Now, you listen here to me, Doc. I don't know what you're talking about, but I ain't sure I like
Well, let me know when you make up your mind. I'm going to go back to my office.
Wait a minute.
What?
Here's Mr. Dillon. My, he looks real mad about something.
Yes, he does.
Let's go over to the Texas Trail, Doc.
What for?
I just told off a few of our leading citizens up the street, and now I want to be seen buying you a drink to really give them something to talk about.
Now, wait a minute, Matt. I know what they've been saying about me not being in jail. But you can't fight them all.
It isn't all of them. It's only a rotten few so far. Come on. I want everybody to know where I stand.
No, Matt.
Can I come too? I'd be proud to buy a second round myself. How about it, Doc?
Well, I guess I can't turn down a drink with a couple of friends. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, too, Chester. Now, I really had better get back to my office.
Okay, Doc.
Hold on a minute. There's that fella again, Doc. He followed us in here.
What?
At the end of the bar there, Mr. Dillon. He keeps watching Doc all the while.
You know him, Doc?
Well, there is something familiar about him.
What do you mean he's been watching, Doc, Chester?
I don't know, but every doggone time I'm with Doc, I see him.
Matt?
Yeah.
I know who he looks like now.
Who?
The man I killed.
What?
Yes, there's a resemblance. A very definite resemblance.
Well, who do you think it might be?
Well, I'm not sure, but I feel kind of funny inside. Same as I did out there on the prairie.
You two wait here. I'd like to know your name, stranger.
You would?
No offense. I'm Marshal Dillon. Now, what's your name?
Nate.
Nate what?
Nate'll do, marshal or no marshal.
Where you from?
Colorado.
What are you doing in Dodge?
You got something against me, say it out, Marshal.
All right. Doc Adams killed a man last week. He thinks you look like you might be related to him.
Your Doc Adams has got a bad conscience, maybe. I can't help who I look like.
He could be wrong, but if he's right, I want you to remember something. Doc's a friend of mine. If anything happened to him, I'd take it real personal.
You ain't talking about me, Marshal.
It'd be a bad death, mister. I'd kill real hard. Chester.
Yes, sir?
Go get yourself a shotgun.
What?
You're gonna stay with Doc, day and night, from now on.
Matt.
I'm sorry to bother you, Kitty.
Come in. I was just getting ready to go to work. Wasn't expecting company.
It's about this trouble Doc's in, Kitty.
Oh.
I think you might be able to help.
Well, I'd do anything for Doc, Matt. You know that.
Well, this will take your whole evening. Won't be easy.
Go on.
There's a stranger been hanging around town. Says his first name is Nate. He's medium height, wears a buckskin jacket and a brown slouch hat.
Yeah, I've seen him.
Well, Doc thinks he might be related to the man he killed. He thinks it might be his brother.
You want me to find out?
Now, that might take a lot of doing, Kitty. Maybe it's asking too much.
You can't put him in jail, Matt. And it might save Doc's life.
And I doubt if he's a man to get drunk by himself, or easily. And even drunk, I don't know if you can make him talk.
Leave that to me, Matt. It's like I said. I'll do anything for Doc.
Chester, come on, wake up.
Oh, my. Oh, I must have fell asleep.
I thought I told you to stay with Doc.
Well, I was with him all last night and all today so far.
Oh, where is he now?
Why, I don't know. We was playing some cards here, and then I laid down for a minute. And, oh, dear, I just don't know how I could have fell
Go up
asleep
to his
like
office, see if he's there, and stay with him if he
that.
is.
Yes, sir, I will. Oh, I just don't know how it could have happened. Well, Miss Kitty.
Oh, Chester?
Well, it's nice to see you, but I gotta go. I went to sleep. Oh, I'm
Okay, Chester. Well, Matt.
Sit down, Kitty.
Yeah.
You look tired.
That was about the longest night I ever spent.
Where's Nate, whatever his name is?
The last I saw of him, it was dawn, and he was almost asleep on one of the tables at the Long Branch. You were right, Matt. That man sure can drink.
Well, Kitty, did it do any good?
Some. His name's Nate Brandel.
Brandel?
Mm-hmm. His brother's name was Miles Brandel.
Yeah. And it was his brother Doc killed.
Well, that's why Nate's after Doc. I guess he just hasn't had a good chance to get him yet. But he's going to, Matt.
No, he isn't. I'll run him out of town now that I really know who he is.
Well, you want to hear the rest of it first?
Yeah, go ahead, Kitty.
Well, Nate's brother, this Miles Brandel, he heard Cam Seaton was living here, and he rode all the way from Colorado to kill him.
And he found him lying there hurt and learned that he'd sent for Doc. Huh?
I guess he figured if he could keep Doc away, Cam wouldn't need killing.
And he was right. Why was he after Cam?
Well, Nate didn't say much about that. But the important thing is that Miles was an outlaw with a price of $1,000 on his head.
I never had a circler on him.
It's true, anyway, according to Nate. That's why he's after Doc so bad. He thinks Doc shot his brother for the reward money.
But hasn't he heard this story?
He doesn't believe it, Matt.
Dillon?
Yeah, Chester.
Doc left a note on his door that he's down at the stable looking over a new buggy horse. I'm going to hurry on down there.
Wait a minute, I'm going with you, Chester. Kitty, I think Doc will be wanting to thank you himself for what you've done.
Why don't you live modern? Live modern. Live modern. Change to L&M.
Yes, have an L&M. Enjoy a really modern cigarette. A cigarette that gives you all the full, exciting flavor of today's finest tobaccos. No other cigarette, plain or filter, gives you the flavor you get through the modern miracle of the L&M Miracle Tip. Through the pure white Miracle Tip, L&M tastes richer, smokes cleaner, draws easier. So light up, free up, let your taste come alive. Live modern, smoke L&M.
Make today your big red letter day and start to live the modern way. Live, live, live modern. Get L&M today.
There he is, Mr. Dillon, standing just inside the door.
Yeah.
I don't see no buggy horse, though, or nobody else.
Well, at least Doc's still all right.
I promise I won't never fall asleep again.
I will take Doc back to the office where he'll be safe, and then I'll go round up Nate Brandel.
Now, where's he going? Hey, Doc! Somebody's shooting at him.
Yeah, come on.
I'm all right, man.
Stay down, Doc.
There he goes out that stall.
Hold it!
You got him.
Doc.
Did you kill him, Matt?
I tried not to, Doc.
You hit me twice.
Here, let me have a look.
No. You finished me like you finished my brother.
Oh, don't be a fool. Hold still now. Better him up to my office, Matt. One of those bullets has to come out before I can stop the bleeding.
I just tried to kill you, Doc.
I know.
Then what are you doing trying to save me?
I'm a doctor. Nothing can keep me from a man who needs me. I tried to explain that to your brother.
I don't believe you. You're lying.
Let's get him moved, Matt. We're wasting time.
Did you get the mail, Mr. Dillon?
Yeah, it finally came, Chester. Now go upstairs and get Doc, will you? I'll be in the office.
Yes, sir.
Nate, you awake?
I'm awake.
Well, come on out.
What for? You gonna hang me?
Go on into the office.
2 weeks in bed, 3 weeks in jail. Begin to wish you'd killed me, Marshal.
I kept you in jail because Doc wanted you there, Nate.
Has he always run the law around here?
It was him you tried to kill, wasn't it? If I had my way, you'd be in prison.
Between you and Doc, I ain't got a chance of nothing, have I?
We're gonna get that settled right now.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I'm doing this Doc's way. I didn't ask you.
I got him, Mr. Dillon.
Good morning, Matt.
Morning, Doc.
Hello, Nate.
Well, it came in today's mail, Doc.
Give it to me, Matt.
Here it is.
Thank you. You got a pen in your desk, Matt?
Yeah, help yourself.
What is that? What are you talking about anyway?
The reward money. $1,000 check for killing your brother.
Oh,
Doc put in his claim, so I sent to Colorado for it.
yeah, I might have known. I hope you have a good time with it, Doc. What are you going to spend it on? Tell us.
I'll tell you, Nate. I'm going to spend it on you. I've endorsed it. Here, it's all yours.
Mine?
Take it.
What for?
You'll have to figure out what for. And it's about time you did, too.
Marshal?
Yeah, Nate.
My brother left a wife in Denver. I'm going to see she gets this. She won't have to know what it's from. Can I leave now?
Yeah, you can leave.
But, Marshal,
Don't worry about it, Nate. I'll tell Doc you finally got it figured out.
And now our star, William Conrad.
Thank you, George. Friends, do you like the flavor of modern living, the fullness of it, the excitement of it? Then you'll like the full, exciting flavor of L&M, the modern cigarette. Through the modern miracle of the L&M Miracle Tip, you get all the full, exciting flavor of today's finest tobaccos. No other cigarette, plain or filter, gives you the full, exciting flavor you get through the pure white Miracle Tip. So light up, free up, let your taste come alive. Live modern. Smoke L&M.
Gunsmoke, produced and directed by Norman Macdonald, stars William Conrad as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal. Our story was specially written for Gunsmoke by John Meston, with music composed and conducted by Rex Corey. Sound patterns by Ray Kemper and Bill James. Featured in the cast were John Daner and Vic Perrin. Harley Bear is Chester, Howard McNear is Doc, and Georgia Ellis is Kitty. Maybe you could spare a few hours of your time each week, helping to keep your country safe from a possible sneak enemy air attack. Men, women, teenagers too, are eligible to join the Ground Observer Corps and serve as plane spotters, filling in the unavoidable gaps in our radar network. It's easy but fascinating work. When you're in the Ground Observer Corps, you can wear your silver wings, proud in the knowledge that you're doing your part to keep America safe. Why not join tomorrow?
Chesterfield packs more pleasure because Chesterfield's more perfectly packed.
A cigarette made better and packed better, smokes better, tastes better. And Chesterfield is more perfectly packed by Accuray. This electronic miracle removes human error in cigarette manufacture. So Accuray Chesterfield is firm and pleasing to the lips. Chesterfield, mild, yet they satisfy the most.
Join us again next week for another specially transcribed story as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal, fights to bring law and order out of the wild violence of the West in Gunsmoke.
I've said it on previous shows, but one of the things I think I missed about my childhood was radio. I'm a child of television. We got our first set when I was 5 or 6 years old. I listened to local radio, but it was an independent station that didn't carry any of the network shows. It was only when I was in my 50s that I discovered yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and started researching old-time radio that I was able to hear what I had been missing. Radio was still very much alive in 1956. As you know, it would continue until September of 1962, when the last show to go off the air, Suspense, and yours truly, Johnny Dollar. We're spending our time this year researching Gunsmoke. And that's it for this time around. I'm Dennis Daly. Thanks for joining me on Gunsmoke Theater as we go back into the archives to play more of the episodes of the radio show that changed everything for the better. Gunsmoke, right here on YouTube.